button.
Man, I went back and forth. My first list was all new reggae and the stuff I like, my Tropidelics and my Mad Caddies and all them. And then I'm like, you know what? I want a topic for that. I'm gonna do one that's we've done reggae. Don't get me wrong, but I want to do one that's like Meet Me or something like that, where we just pick songs that would describe us, and I can do some of that or whatever. But so I went more classic. I went with some of my favorite bands from California and picked a song. At number 5, I got to get 2 of them. I got Sublime and Slightly Stoopid, Cool and Collected. And it's just a cool, down to earth song. It's just cool and collected. And it's one of those songs when kind of stressing out or whatever, like just kind of listen to it and then, you know what, just chill out, you know? So good song. My number 4, I was scared when you said Too Short, because when I think Cali, I think Too Short. And I was going to do like some Mount Westmore where I could get a whole bunch of them in there. I was going to do some of like the collabs and make it easier. But I started listening to Too Short and I was like, man, how am I not going to do I'm a Player? Because I mean, I'm not going to say I was a good guy, but there was a year or two in my life that like I wanted that to be my theme song when I walked into play. And that's not a good theme song. And I know that. But you know, it's a cool song, and you know, like I know I haven't heard that song in 5 or 7 years. I knew every word from the beginning to the end, and a lot of Too Short, because I listened to a lot of Too Short. So
yeah, that was my when I first started taking over vocals for the band. That was my go-to. Just when I couldn't remember if I didn't have lyrics, I would just throw. You know, we're playing metal. And I'm like, riding, sliding, whipping and dipping. I know it's my car. You ain't tripping. It's your favorite color. On a lovely day, let me reach right over.
That's badass.
Yeah.
I remember I had this old boss, and not old. He was like 10 years older than me. So I was like 24, 23, and we jumped in his ride, and I don't remember how, but we were managers at this time. I was his assistant, and he had a Yukon, and I drove it that day, and I forgot I'd put a Too Short CD in there. And right when we get in, Blowjob Betty comes on.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I went to stop, and he's like, don't you stop it. And together, we sang every word to that effing song, and then like went through that whole album on Player. And then it's like, all right, you know, this guy's pretty cool. We're going to be buddies, you know, and then we became really, really bad drinking friends, but we had a good time together.
Good time doing bad.
So I miss you, Josh, or Brian. I mean, sorry, not you, Josh. I've seen you all the time. My number 3, this is kind of one of the, I don't know to say, they're one of my bands, but I people know them, I think, but not a lot of people, but it's Rebelution. And this song's Lay My Claim. And they've got a couple songs, and if you listen to some, there's probably 1 or 2 you may have never heard, but they're in my world. But it's like Rebelution.
I feel like I've heard this song like recently.
I don't know if I've ever shared it, but it's kind of cool. It's got like a hip hop reggae.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, and it's been covered by a couple, and they may even cover it. I don't know but that's how I found them. And then I've got 4 or 5 of their songs in my favorites. So there's something new for you. Number 2. This band, I don't know if a lot of people have heard of them. They were big in the 90s and early 2000s. It's Metallica.
No, I've never heard of them.
I come to realize since I've done this show, I've never done a Too Short song, and I've never done a Metallica song. And I had to cure both of those tonight. And this was a struggle, because I'll be honest, man, I was a huge Metallica guy. And then I kind of was like, was that people that got almost like everybody where they sold out or whatever, you know? And then I'm like, oh, I'm back on. I actually enjoy their political message. I enjoy their music. They got different. It wasn't the same hardcore heavy metal or whatever that they began, but they went with the times or what. Anyways, but this song is Seek and Destroy. Yeah. So
okay.
And that was hard because I had like 3. I have 3 written down, but that one was, anyways, that was it. Seek and Destroy, number 2.
Mhm.
My number 1, man, this was hard not putting Ice Cube on this list, but we did a whole show about him.
Wasn't
We did a whole
it?
show. So I, you know, I'm like, do I still use him? I have him on here, but no. I had to get some Dirty Heads on here. I don't know if you know, Dirty Heads is one of my favorite bands.
I never heard you say that, not once.
Okay. I went through and I have quite a few songs of theirs I've used on. And so I had to kind of go like, what's something that I really like? This is Believe from Dirty Heads. And it's another super, it talks about like all of his musical influences. And then, you know, starting out like in his mom's belly, listening to you know, Marley and all this, and then all of his different music that he evolved to now I got my own sound, and or how they've got their own sound, but it's a pretty cool song. So that was my number 1. And before I got to get him on there because nobody did a Red Hot Chili Peppers. My honorable mention, Scar Tissue, Red Hot Chili Peppers.